If the president of North Korea, Kim Jon Un, wants to travel anywhere, he always prefers to travel in his own private train. This train is not an ordinary train, but it is a moving paradise. You can also call it as a moving 5-star hotel. Normally, he does not travel anywhere, but whenever he travels with pride and luxury. Officially, the name of this train is Taeyang, but it is also known as the Moving Fortress. In fact, the people who travel in this train also compare the security and facilities of this train with an Air Force One. Air Force One is the same aeroplane in which the US President travels. So let us discuss about the special features and the facilities which make this train special in this video. Welcome to yet another video on Fact Central. Ever since Kim Jong Un has become the president of North Korea, he has traveled to a very few countries. China and Russia are two countries where Kim Jong Un has visited. In the last 13 years, Kim Jong Un has only made 10 international tours. He traveled most of the countries with the moving fortress. This train is escorted by two other trains. One train is always ahead of the moving fortress to ensure that the surroundings are safe, and the train also detects whether there are any explosive which could create any danger or any unusual activity to protect the moving fortress. Whenever Kim Jong Un is traveling in the moving fortress, no other person is permitted to be present in the surroundings of the railway tracks. But still, the commandos who are present in the train that is traveling ahead keep an eye on every small potential danger. And the second train always travels behind the moving fortress, which is having ammunition and a group of army personnel. Their responsibility is to protect their supreme leader from any kind of danger. The convoy also includes one helicopter which escorts the trains till they cross their country's border. If due to any reason the security system of the train fails, in that case the cargo planes with ammunitions and commandos are always ready to take off from the nearby airports. Their only mission is to save their supreme leader from any dangers at any cost. Talking about the train, the windows of the trains are made out of bulletproof glass. The roof and the bottom of the train is made out of reinforced steel, which can save the train even from a biggest explosion. All compartments of the train have different kind of weapons present in it, out of which there is anti-aircraft missile system which protects the train from any kind of aerial dangers. Both sides of the train are equipped with anti-tank missiles and machine guns to counter-attack any kind of dangers which the train might come across. The failure of all these security measures will still not lead to the death of Kim Jong Un because one lobby of the moving fortress also has a helicopter which can be used by Kim Jong Un in emergency situations. All these measures, which are taken to ensure the safety of Kim Jong Un, are reliable, but this is what makes the train too heavy. And that is the reason the train travels at the speed of 60 kilometers per hour. Sometimes the speed of the train is less than 60 kilometers per hour because the railway tracks of North Korea are not in good condition. When the president's train travels through any stations, all the lights of the station are turned down by the station authorities. Not only that, just to ensure that any other train does not travel through the parallel railway tracks, the electricity is turned down. In the entire North Korea, there are 20 such railway stations where only the train of Kim Jong Un is allowed to visit these stations. It takes many days for Kim Jong Un to reach the destination because of the slowness of the train. In September 2023, when he visited Vladimir Putin in Russia, traveling from his train took him 10 days to reach Russia. The train is stopped at the borders of North Korea and Russia. This is where the wheels of the trains are changed because the railway tracks of Russia are more broader than the railway tracks of North Korea. Talking about the interiors of the train has all the facilities which any president has at his home or at his own office. Kim has his own office with a fax machine as well as a phone that works on satellite signals. Including the reception room, meeting room, and luxury suites, all the interiors are done with a wooden floor. But the specialty of the train is its restaurant. There are a variety of food dishes available in this train which are served by just one signal from Kim Jong Un. Variety of foods like French, Korean, Chinese and Japanese are served in this train. There is no question of Kim Jong Un getting bored during his journey. because the train has lady conductors who are singers and dancers. They make sure that their leader is personally entertained during the journey. If the train reaches its destination or in between Kim Jong Un wants to travel anywhere, there is a luxurious car named as Mercedes Limousine which is always present in the train. This luxurious car is unloaded from the train, and wherever Kim Jong Un wants to travel, he reaches the destination with his security. Now you must be wondering, why does Kim Jong Un only travel through trains? Actually, it's a very old tradition of the Kim Jong Un's family. Kim Jong Un's father and grandfather also have a record of traveling through trains. In the Pyongyang city, there is a Kum Susan palace where the father's and the grandfather's body is preserved. Together with their bodies, the train compartments which they used have also been preserved. In the palace, there are also images where they can be seen present inside their trains. And the locations to which they have traveled through the trains have also been mapped and shown in the palace. It was said that Kim Jong Il had a phobia traveling in aeroplanes, and that is the reason he started traveling through trains. It was in the year 2001 when Kim Jong Il had traveled to Moscow with his personal train. The distance covered was 20,000 kilometers and it took 1 month to complete the journey. Maybe no one would know anything about this secret train unless there was a person who was a Russian official whose name was Konstantin Pulivskoski who traveled in it. After the journey, he wrote a book in which he mentioned the features and facilities of the train in detail. Before publishing the book, no one knew as to how the interiors of the train looks like. He said that he was given luxurious service in the train and live lobsters were served in the restaurant and there was special wine imported from France. So the Kim Jong's family adopted this luxury as their tradition and started using the trains for official visits. In the year 2004, Kim Jong Un's father Kim Jong il's train traveled through the Tangjung station, which is located at the borders of North Korea and China. After the train crossed the borders, there was a big blast at the Tangjung station. It was known that a cargo train carrying oil had caught fire, which led to the blast. But Kim's family thought that it was a failed assassination attempt. After that day, the Kim's family's train security was increased. In 2009, Russian photographers were restricted from clicking pictures of the train even when the train was in Russian territory. Not only that, the route on which the train was supposed to travel was through the Siberian region where the population is very less. But whenever the train had to travel from any nearby villages, the electricity of the entire village was taken down. Talking about the enemies of Kim Jong Un, America and CIA are, however, the biggest enemies of Kim Jong. But the biggest threat of Kim Jong Un is their own public. The citizens of North Korea are mercilessly punished for the smallest mistakes. They are sent to hard labor camps just for not following Kim Jong Un's hairstyle. The North Koreans are also punished if they are following the principles that are mentioned in the Bible. Due to all these reasons, the biggest threat of Kim Jong Un is its own public. The only reason why the citizens support Kim Jong Un is only because they are scared of him. Sometimes Kim Jong Un was seen with his own look-alike. Like during a missile launch, Kim Jong Un was seen talking to his own look-alike. His look-alike is always present with him during special events, so that if any shooter wants to shoot him, he will also get confused before pulling the trigger. Experts also say that apart from family tradition, there is one more reason why Kim Jong prefers to travel in trains. He wants to show people, in comparison with the president of USA who travels in an Air Force One, Kim Jong Un wants to show that he has a sophisticated way of traveling. The citizens of North Korea are not at all aware about the train which we are discussing in this video, because there is nothing like social media that exists in the North Korea country. Only a few top officials of North Korea have access to free internet. The reality is that Kim Jong Un lives a lavish lifestyle. As per the images shared by 2020 satellite, Kim Jong Un owns properties which have private railway stations. The moving fortress can be seen parked in the satellite images. The private villas owned by Kim Jong Un also have private beach, shooting range, basketball court, and a covered garage for parking the yachts. There is one more reason why Kim Jong Un feels insecure. North Korea has been under dictatorship since so many decades, and the Kim's family have ruled North Korea since many decades. The problem is that Kim Jong Un has been the last dictator of his family, and he does not have any son who will take over his position after his retirement. Even Kim Jong Un is aware of the fact that his position is very weak. There are many elites in North Korea who can take over his position, but the Kim's family will lose their legacy. But Kim Jong Un has a sister who could take over the legacy. But Kim Jong Un fears that if his sister comes across a bad incident, then the military will give the power to someone else.